Hello, it's me, Sky, and today we are going to just sit down, diamond paint, have a nice little whip and chat. So if you are new to my channel, I don't do a lot of whip and chats. And I think this is because I tend to ramble quite a bit and go off on tangents, and I end up making a list of things I want to chat about, and then I forget all of those things and talk about other things and jump from subject to subject. So just know what you're signing up for with this video. If you want to stick around, I would really love for you to stick around, and I'm going to try to stay on track today. I do have my handy dandy list. It's right over there of things to say. But the first thing that I want to say, because I'm sure you're wondering why you're looking at a container full of drills and not an actual diamond painting. That is because the kit that I am working on is from Diamond Art Club's Christmas mystery box. So I have a video of the unboxing of this kit and the other kits in my mystery box, but I do want to provide a spoiler warning here again. If you have not got your Christmas mystery box yet, or if for whatever reason you just don't want to know what was in it, then I'm gonna uncover it. There is one kit. If you watched my video, you probably know which one, because I was very, very excited whenever I saw this one. I am going to be working on that one, and I will be showing the bottom section of it, so I don't know how much it will give away. If you were trying to kind of avoid spoilers, I'm not going to show you the whole canvas, but I do want to provide a little bit of warning if just like the bottom strips here are going to give it away for you. So I am gonna uncover it and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say the title and the artist's name and the dimensions, things like that. So if you don't want to see, I'm trying to give you plenty of time to click away. I can't give you a timestamp as to when it won't be spoilery because I'm going to work on this the whole video. So maybe if you can't watch now, then after you've gotten your box and seen what's in it, maybe you could come back and stick around that time. So I'm going to uncover it now. Okay. Isn't it pretty? I mean, you see the title right there, so I guess it is kind of very much given away. But this is Midnight Joy. It is by Teresa Donahue McManus, and it is 65 by 65 centimeters, which when I first read those dimensions, I was like, that is great. That's a really manageable size. And I stand by that. But now that I'm working on it and remembering how slow I am at diamond painting, which I have always been very honest with myself and with you that I'm very slow, but I think this is too big for me to finish before Christmas, which worries me because I don't like to work on Christmas kits after Christmas, like not a bit. Like on December 26th, I'm done. I want to put away my Christmas kit and work on something else. So I'm trying to be optimistic that I can finish this in time, but I just really don't know. But I am so excited about this one. It is so pretty. I hope that you know the full image if you want to know. I mean, go. I'm not trying to like plug my channel over and over, but go watch my Christmas mystery unboxing and I'll show it to you there. But for now, I'm just going to work on this little section. I diamond paint even slower when I'm trying to talk, so I don't plan on doing any more than this little section. I don't plan on finishing this little section in this video, so we're just gonna... here's my cover minder before I set it down. It is just a little Diamond Art Club toolkit little cover minder. I do like the little golden flecks in there. I felt like it complemented. This piece has a lot of blues, so I felt like it complemented well, and you're not going to be able to see it now that I've got it up there, so I wanted to talk about it real quick first. And I need to get my drills closer or I'm not going to be able to reach. Also, I'm just using a Diamond Art Club tray. Like, I just got one of the new trays from the new toolkits in my most recent unboxing. Let me plug that again. But I really was impressed with this tray. It has a lid and a stopper that I don't really need to use right now, but I was really impressed with those and how well they fit and how smoothly the lid moved. But I'm gonna be trying out this tray since I haven't used it before. I'm also gonna be using a Diamond Art Club pin. Boy, I am really a fangirl, aren't I? So this is from Diamond Art Club. I have glue dots in my single placer. I always use glue dots. I did reload my glue dots when I started this kit, so I've only done like one section over here. And so my glue dot was still so sticky. I get so aggravated when I put in fresh glue dots because one, I use micro glue dots, by the way. One is not enough. If I put one in there, I'm not picking up any drills. They're dropping off. And then I put a second one in there, and then it's too sticky. Everything, I try to put a drill down and it just pulls it right back up because it's too sticky. But after a few sections, that wears down and it's the perfect amount. So I'm still in that, oh my gosh, I can't single place a drill phase while the sticky wears off. And now I do try to like tap it on my finger, which I've heard will dull the sticky. I've tapped it around on like my clothes as well, because that I've heard can dull the sticky, but neither of those has been effective for me so far. Nothing is effective other than just dealing with it until the sticky wears down a little bit. I don't know. Do you guys have any solutions there? Maybe I do think it is pin specific because I have other pins that I'm able to use one, and I have other pins that I'm able to use two without difficulty. So I think maybe it's just your tip and however it's feeling that day. So I think, nope, I gotta tell you what's in my multi-placer. So I am using, and I'm not gonna replace it right now because I did just put new putty in there recently. So I think I've still got enough sticky to get me through a little while, but I may have to reload it in this video. But I am using gingerbread, or maybe I'm not. No, I don't know. I'm using Randa's Crafty Corner putty. That I do know, but I don't know if what's in here is hot chocolate or gingerbread. Let me sniff it. I think it's gingerbread. Okay, so I'm using gingerbread. These are Christmas scents from years past from Randa's Crafty Corner, so I don't know what she may be coming out with this year or has already come out with. I don't know, but I do love this putty and I love the scents. Okay, I think that is everything that I need to cover about all of my items. I'm not a big collector of accessories, so most likely I'll be using the same items in like every video, but that's beside the point. So let's see, I guess I'm gonna get started with some of these blues down at the bottom. And by the way, this kit has 87 colors, so I will be spending a lot of time looking for colors for this one. It's filled up. The Elizabeth Ward tray that I had sitting in front of the canvas when we started, that is just one container. I also have another container that is about half full of drills, and almost all of them are just the little bittiest container, and it filled up so much space. And I haven't been working on this long enough to have like the muscle memory of like, oh, that symbol's in this one and this symbol is over here. Like I'll develop that as time goes on, but right now I'm still like, I have no idea. I don't know what number this is. I don't know which one of my container storages that it's in. I'm just gonna have to like search around for it. So I apologize if this is a little chaotic, but I think that's what you guys expect from me at this point. Another chaotic thing that will definitely occur during this video is I have a memory card in my camera, of course, and me and Kenneth, my partner, he has a GoPro where he films his like vehicle related things. He goes to a lot of car shows and he does a lot of work on his cars and he films that stuff. And he's got the good memory card. I don't know why we have so many memory cards and only one of them is good, like has a lot of space on it, but he has that one in his camera. So that means that in my camera, my memory card currently will only hold about 20 or 30 minutes worth of content. So if I want this video to go any longer than that, which the way I ramble, it certainly will. But if I decide to go longer, that means I'm going to have to take a pause in the middle and then put all of the content onto my computer and then have an empty memory card and start the video back. So just be prepared for that to occur. It gives me a warning, so it'll like flash a 1 minute warning on the screen. So if I'm paying attention, I'll see it. But if we just have some kind of weird cut in the middle, I'll, you know, it's what I can do for now. Maybe as Santa will bring me a new memory card that's bigger. Maybe I do need to replace my putty because it's already not picking up. No, it got it. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about, I want to kind of give a little trigger warning. I hate to say trigger warning, because everybody's triggered by something different. Some people are triggered by the word trigger, and so I don't want to use that word. And on this channel, of course, oh, hey, Nugget. My son is waking up and walking around upstairs, and Nugget always is offended by that. So we'll give him a moment to recover. But anyway, on this channel, obviously, now that I have had some serious health issues in the past few months, and I've talked about them on this channel, and I don't think that there will ever be a point where I'm able to shy away from the C word. I don't know. I guess I could put a timestamp or something, but I will be chatting about something that may be bothersome for at least a few minutes, and I really, on this channel, we'll probably be talking about these sorts of things a lot. So not necessarily in such a serious way though. So just for now, I just don't want to be the cause of someone's bad day or to bring up something that they don't want to revisit. So if that's something, I know I've been very vague, but I've been vague on purpose to try not to bother anyone. So, okay, at this point, I'm going to talk about it, okay? Here we go. So, I made my tumor video, and now I have to search for another color. Hang on. No, oh no, that one was easy. I found it. It's in a bigger container, so it was easy to find. I made my tumor video, and in that video, I talked about my issues and in a lot of depth. But one thing that I didn't mention, and I felt like it deserved its own recognition, and I felt like it was a little bit too much for that video. But one additional thing that happened when I was going through all of these health issues and getting these diagnoses. I don't know the plural of diagnosis. About maybe it was just a few days or maybe a week after I had gotten the call from my oncologist that my tumor was more advanced than they originally thought, and that they thought there was the possibility of a more serious type of cancer. My grandmother, she had bronchitis, but she wasn't getting any better, and she had gone back to the doctor just because she was having some trouble breathing, and they also scanned her. We were just going through things very closely together, but she had a scan, and they found that she had a tumor, as well. And hers was in her lung. The origin was in her lung. And it was pressing against her heart in some way, some very important artery. I don't remember the exact terminology, and I'm no medical professional, but it was pressing on her heart in a way that was causing her a lot of difficulty. And she also had a lot of fluid built up on her lungs, which was causing her a lot of difficulty. But they were able to drain the fluid, and while they were trying to get her stabilized with these like issues with her breathing and her heart, then we were also starting to see appointments coming up for more scans, brain scans, body scans, just to make sure that the cancer was just in her lung. And so she did manage to recover and come home after all of the procedures to get rid of the fluid and after her heart difficulties. And then when she went for her scans, they discovered that the cancer was in her brain, and that it was also in her bones. And this is bad news, of course. Any cancer is bad news, but you definitely don't want to find out that it has spread. And her doctor at that time gave her 2 weeks without treatment, but did say that radiation could help. So she was going to do brain-specific radiation, so just radiation on her brain tumors, and she had to do, I think it was 10 or 11 rounds of that was the plan. And then after that, they would start discussing chemotherapy for the tumors on the rest of her body. And they did say that the one on her lungs was going to be inoperable because of its proximity to her heart, but that the chemotherapy could shrink it to a point where if it shrunk in the right way, maybe they could get it out. So if it shrunk away from her heart, then maybe they could operate, but that would be like a long-term project. So she started her brain radiation, and it was difficult, as anyone who's been through those types of treatments can attest. It's never easy at all. And she, being 81 years old, it was a lot, but she did it. She went to her treatments. And also, during all of this time, the fluid was building up on her lungs again. And so they kept having to do procedures to remove fluid so she could breathe. And her heart was being affected by all of these different things that were going on. So she is in and out of the hospital. And this is all over the course of like the past month and a half, 2 months. That all of this stuff, we've found out all of this stuff. And then she got sick. This was a couple of weeks ago at this point. She got sick, and they suspected she had some sort of infection. Her blood work was not good at all, and they suspected there was some sort of infection. And so they had to stop her radiation treatments, of course, while she was recovering from this infection, which they found to be probably a UTI. And there were some deficiencies, like I think a potassium deficiency, and things that they could correct with IV infusions. And also they thought that the UTI, that they could correct that with some antibiotics. But unfortunately, it seemed, I don't know if it wasn't a UTI, or if her poor body had just decided that it just couldn't fight anymore. But she passed away, and this was less than 2 weeks ago. It was a Friday night, and it it was hard. The family was there with her. I was there, and it was hard. I'm gonna try not to make too many cuts in this video, but obviously this is quite a fresh wound for me. But I did want to talk about it here because I thought I had more time. And my plan was to, shortly after my tumor video, I was going to do a whip and chat like this, where I told you about her diagnosis and asked you for, your thoughts and prayers and support, and I would be able to tell her that all these people on the internet are rooting for you. And I got busy and I didn't do it. And not that I think that would have made a huge amount of difference or anything like that. I mean, I do think that your thoughts and prayers, they've made a lot of difference for me. But I had wanted to tell her story while she was still here, but that's not how it worked out. We ended up having a very beautiful service for her, and while that was also hard, it was probably the best funeral. That's not a thing. It was probably the best celebration of life, honoring of a person that I've ever attended. I thought it was perfect for her. And I think that she would have liked and appreciated what was said and done at her service. Okay, so I'm gonna try to move on from that subject. I just want to reiterate how much cancer sucks. I never would have imagined at the start of this year that we would be finishing it this way. And what could even, there's nothing we could have done differently. So to me, that's just one of the scariest, or there are so many scary parts of cancer. There's nothing about it that's not scary, but one of the scariest things is that there's just nothing that you can really do to prevent it happening to you. And I mean, if you do certain things, it's likely to not happen, but it can happen to anyone, any age, even the things that are unlikely, like me. Oh, you're too young for ovarian cancer. But no, I'm not. And it's an awful thing. I hate that it has affected my family, and I hate if it has affected yours. But I guess that's why I kind of hesitate to give trigger warnings when I'm going to talk about cancer on my channel, because I'm going to talk about it a lot. It's a huge part of every single day for me. But not as much as some people. And that's the real kicker, is my own diagnosis was lucky. And my grandmother, while it didn't turn out well for her, she didn't suffer for a long time. She didn't have to go downhill for years and years and years and years and watch her just spiral and decline. We didn't have to do that. So small mercies. But the fact that cancer is such a huge part of our entire like international society. Like it's not just an American thing. It's something that every person in the world has to worry about. And I hate it. I hate it. And it makes me so angry. I just cannot even put into words. But expect to hear a lot more from me as far as advocacy and awareness and fundraising for cancer research, for cancer patients, for prevention, for tests to be able to monitor things. There's so much we're lacking. There's so many advances being made, but there's so much that we're lacking. And I don't know that I'll be able to provide a trigger warning every time I'm going to be talking about these things, because I feel like it's such a big part of my life, but I don't want to be the cancer channel either. So I will try to, I got too many drills. I will try to not let it take up all of the space that I have on this channel. So anyway, well, I won't say that I'm done talking about cancer now, but I think I'm done talking about the triggering part. So when I talk about my own process at this point, I had a scan in October, and I will have another scan in January, and I am already starting to get nervous. I'm already doing it. When they told me at the October scan that everything was fine, I dropped a drill. I might need to change my putty. They told me that my scan was clear, and I'm gonna have to get my tweezers. I was so relieved, and I didn't have to do another one for 3 whole months. And that felt like such a breath of fresh air. I was like, I have all the time in the world now to live and not have to be doing any treatments, not having any further surgeries. Like, it was a new lease on life. And now a whole month of that has passed, because we are well into November. And now I only have 2 months until the next scan. And gosh, it goes by so fast. And I don't know. I mean, you can never fit like a whole life's worth of living into a short time or anything. But I never want to waste it. I don't feel like I've wasted the last month, but I don't ever want to waste any of the time where I'm feeling good, because at any point in time, I could have to start some kind of treatment. And I really want to appreciate the time that I'm feeling good. And some of the ways that I am trying to prevent a recurrence are like, I'm eating very, very healthy. And this is all arguable, okay? Like, I don't know how to prevent a recurrence. If I knew exactly what to do, then, oh my gosh, we would all be great. I would share it with the world. Let's all do this and prevent cancer, but I don't know. But what I am trying to do is eat healthy, mostly organic, very little sugar, no red meat, no alcohol. And it's hard to do that, but I feel better because I'm eating well. Oh, here goes my memory card. Okay, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with a fresh memory card. Sorry about that. Well, I guess it was not very much time for you. For me, it took a minute, but I'm back. And I was talking about that I eat well, I think. Yes, I eat well. I try to stay active. I really need to add some strength training to my lifestyle, but I haven't yet, but I need to. And I've been trying to be positive, which has been quite difficult the past little while. But I'm trying, and I'm trying to keep a community around me so that I have people to talk to, which is kind of you guys, and also great family support. I mean, I couldn't ask for better, really. And of course, I have my sweet nugget, which he's the next subject to talk about. He's been sick. I think he's on the mend now, but the same day as my grandmother's funeral, we had to take Nugget to the vet because he had been up all night the previous night having some digestive episodes. I won't go into great detail about that, but I'm sure you can imagine. But he has been having this off and on. I don't know why I said that so weird. For about a month. And when he had the first episode, I kind of suspected that it might be to do with his food, but I just wasn't quite sure. He was eating the same food that he had been eating for years, which took a great deal of trial and error to even pick that food, because he's such a picky eater and he has such a sensitive stomach that once we settled on a food, we were just like, okay, this is it. He's eating this forever. And when he started having these digestive issues, it was very similar to the issues he had had when he was a puppy, when we were trying to figure out what to feed him in the first place. And so I was like, oh no, is it a food thing again? So I took him off of his food and started feeding him just bland chicken and rice that I made myself, just thinking that, like, I mean, that's usually the protocol for puppy upset tummies. And it got better, but every time we tried to put him back on his regular food, he would have an episode again. So I said, well, it's probably the food, so we'll give him the chicken and rice until everything levels out and he's like 100% again. And then we will find him a different food. But I don't want to go through the trial and error of the food while he's still having these upset stomach episodes. So we did the chicken and rice. And then eventually we started to see a decline while he was on the chicken and rice. And then I didn't know what to think, because, like, this is the food. This is the thing that you give a dog who's got an upset tummy. And it wasn't working. So then once it got to the point, like I said, the night before the funeral, but I hope you can't hear my chair squeaking up against my tripod. It is aggravating me so much. But I hope that it's not aggravating you. But once it got to that point, I was like, well, we need to make a vet visit. I've done everything that I know to do. And even though he wasn't acting sick and he wasn't refusing his meals or anything like that, I said, we just need to get this monitored. And we went to the vet, and the vet did agree that she thinks it's his food, and gave me a prescription food for upset tummies, and he proceeded to not consume that at all. He hated it. So we were kind of back at square one with what do we feed him now? And she gave him some other medicines too, some probiotics, which he did not handle well. It made him very fatigued and just not himself at all. And he wouldn't eat while he was taking it. And she also gave him a shot for, like, inflammation. But, I mean, the combinations of those things did decrease his episodes. So, but he still wasn't eating anything, and we didn't know what to feed him when he started eating. So we just bought him some more of his regular food. Like, I didn't know what else to do. And he ate that. He was happy to eat it. And things started to decline again. And so I drew some conclusions of my own. So he was eating a food that was chicken flavored for years, and then started to have problems. I switched him to chicken and rice, which helped, and then eventually he started to have problems with that. And then we put him back on the food with the chicken, and he started having problems again. I said, let's just get rid of this chicken. Let's get rid of the chicken and see how he does. So we bought him a beef food, which I fully suspected that he was going to turn his nose up at, and he actually ate it. And so far, things have been going a lot better with no other intervention. So, no, not the probiotics, and we haven't been back to the vet or anything, but it seems to be going so much better. So maybe that was the culprit the whole time, is he's just developed an allergy to chicken, which is apparently common for dogs to do, which I didn't know that. But I mean, if it's as simple as that, we just won't feed him chicken. And if he's willing to eat other types of protein, then that should be no problem at all. So anyway, that's how Nugget's doing. I can't believe he's eating the food, the beef food. And I hope so much that it continues. You would never think that a pug, like all of the media surrounding pugs, is that they'll eat anything and that they're so fat and you have to just like basically keep them in timeout every time that you eat a meal because they're so insistent that they get to eat whatever you're eating or whatever. A Nugget, no. Super picky. Super picky guy. And I just hope that we can find the right thing for his sensitive belly. But okay. I really think at this point that I'm done talking about medical issues of any kind, unless you consider teeth things to be medical issues. Because I could tell you kind of what everybody in my household has been doing recently, because I haven't updated you on any of them. But basically, everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. The only... I'm looking for a color, if you're wondering why I'm just kind of not doing anything in the frame. And I can't find it. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So the only one having any issues or anything exciting going on at the moment is my son, who just had to get braces last week. And boy, oh boy, isn't that a fun time? But the real experience of it all was that he had to have 4 teeth pulled before he could get the braces on. So we did that, I guess tomorrow. I'm filming this on Monday. So tomorrow will be 2 weeks since he had the teeth pulled. And that was an ordeal. I mean, it was way more of an ordeal for him than it was for me. But, oh my gosh, I hope he never has to have anything like that ever again. It was very painful, but we had to do it. And then, of course, he had to have different sorts of foods for the next several days because he couldn't eat. It was the 4 teeth. It was 1 from every side of his mouth. So 2 on the top on opposite sides and 2 on the bottom on opposite sides. So there was really no way he could chew anything. But he did really well. He did really well. And then a week later they wanted to put the braces on, and they did. And then he was sore again. But has trooped through that as well, and we seem to be, he still has some soreness, but it's much better than it was. And so I'm hoping that maybe the next time he goes to have them adjusted that it won't be so bad, and that maybe we've gotten the worst of it behind us. I really, really hope so, because I hate to see him have pain and not be able to eat and things like that. I mean, there are certainly worse things, but it's been hard for him, and it's been hard for me. You know, how I said I'm eating a special way, and then now he's having to have special food, and then the rest of the family wants to eat too. So it's been basically like 3 different meals every day. But it's resolving, and he's been having a lot of problems with the way that his teeth were situated in his mouth. It was bothering him, and of course, like, cosmetically it bothered him as well. So hopefully we can get all that resolved. They've given us, I think, a 24-month situation. They think that they can get it done in 2 years, which would be great. I had to wear my braces for 3 years, and I it was fine. I wouldn't say that I had a great deal of difficulty or anything, but all of my friends got them off way sooner. We all got our braces at the same time, and then they got theirs off like a year before I did, and I just thought, why is this taking forever? So hopefully he can get his off in 2 years and not have to worry about it anymore. And hopefully he will wear his retainer, which I did not, and now my teeth have, I mean, they're not like they were before I had braces, but I should have worn it. I was young and dumb. I should have worn it. And hopefully he will wear his, because I'm a walking testimony to they will get crooked again if you don't wear it. But everybody else in the family is still doing the same. Nothing of note to talk about. Kenneth is still building his cars and trucks, and Lily is doing her thing, enjoying her anime, and both kids are still homeschooled, and they are enjoying that. I am enjoying that. And, oh man, I missed 2 drills right here of a different color. I'll fix that later. I don't want to get that color back out right now. Anyway, okay, what else do I have to chat about? Let me check my little list over here. Oh, do you want to hear about some more medical stuff? I'm sure you do. That's all we've talked about in this video, but this one is kind of silly and not, it's not a serious issue at all. This is me. When I had my surgery, they did 3 incisions. Basically, the whole surgery was like robotic or whatever. They just stick instruments into you and do it all with, like, they stick a camera in so the camera can show them where to stick the other stuff, and they just do it that way. So you have very small incisions, and I had 3 incisions, one near each of my ovary, or well, where the one ovary used to be and where the other ovary is, and then I had one like right at the bottom of my belly button. And now it's time for me to search for another color. Okay, let's do that real quick. Yes, okay. So after I woke up from surgery, I had like surgical glue, I guess is what it's called, that was over all of my incisions, so it wouldn't get wet and I couldn't fiddle with it or accidentally mess it up in any way. And then after about 4 weeks or so, all of the glue started to fall off, and underneath the 2 incisions by my ovaries, it was just like a perfect little healed line, just a little scar there. There was nothing painful about it, and I mean, no problem whatsoever. And when the glue came off my belly button, it just like opened right up. Like not to the point where it was bleeding. Like I think it had healed like down deep. I think it had healed, but like the little surface wound was just open. And I went back for my post-op checkup, and the doctor did not seem at all alarmed by it. Just, you know, these things take time and such. And so I just waited for it to get better. But every time I would move, like in a way, like bend or twist, or in ways that you don't notice but do cause your belly button to stretch or move, I would feel it pop open. I mean, it sounds gross, but it wasn't painful, and it wasn't bleeding. It just, I could feel it just pop open. And this went on for another month before I decided, like, I want the doctor to look at this again. And he looked at it and he said that it might be infected, like maybe a little bit. And he gave me this cream to put on it. And so now it's been another month since then, and it is way better now. It is way better. Like, it doesn't fully open up, but it's not fully closed either. And it's annoying. Annoying is the word. I don't want to say it's painful because that really isn't accurate. It's more itchy than anything. But yeah, that's just not a thing that I ever considered dealing with. Is like a belly button wound that that you have to think about every time you do something. Um, but really the only thing that it's really done is like keep me from taking baths because I can't submerge while it's still open like that. And I mean, I couldn't swim, but it's not swimming season either, so it doesn't matter. Um, it's not that big a deal, but I just think it's funny. I think it's funny that somehow I managed to develop a slow healing belly button, which I did have like a navel piercing in my younger days, and it refused to heal as well. So I guess maybe I have a weird belly button. I don't know. Maybe I like bend in a way that's unnatural or something, and I keep irritating it, or I don't know. I really don't know. And the doctor didn't like say, hey, obviously you're doing this or this wrong. Stop it. So I guess it's just one of those things that happens. But that's basically the most problems that I've had since the surgery is with that dang belly button. I do have some like internal pains from time to time that make me really nervous, but I think that they're normal. Especially since I had a scan that was clear, it makes me think that it must be scar tissue or things that just take time to heal up. That's what I'm gonna go with and try not to worry about it. All right, now I'm about to have to search for another color, so I'm gonna not even start another bit of conversation. Let's see. Where is it? I'm looking for the little, I call this one the lollipop. Can you see which symbol I'm talking about? Do that slow zoom. That one, this one. The lollipop. That's what I call it. I'm going the wrong way. I'm searching for that one. I don't think it's in this tray. I think I might have zoomed out further than I was before, but that's okay because I don't have a whole lot more to say in this video. Oh my gosh, I really can't find it. I really can't find it. Oh, there it is. A small one. Ooh, it didn't want to focus. I hope you hear Nugget over there snoring. He's really cutting up right now. I know that that's some people's favorite part of my videos, so there you go. There's the Nugget snore that you get every time. Also, my camera is giving me this overheat warning. Why is my camera just having a rough day today? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I assume that means overheat. It looks like a little thermometer, so if this cuts off, well, I'll just give it a minute and then I'll come back and let you know what happened. Anyway, I guess now we could chat about some diamond painting stuff because that's what you're here for, and I made you sit through all that other stuff beforehand. I have mostly been noticing in the past week, I guess, of conversation in the diamond painting community has been mostly about the Christmas mystery boxes. And it's always a rough time when we do mystery boxes. Like, it's so exciting. It's so exciting because we don't know any of the kits and nobody's ever seen them, and everybody wants to like guess about what it might be, and then you either buy it or you don't, and then you get to see what everybody got and find out what all of the kits are that were never seen before. And it's just, it's exciting. It's exciting, but then inevitably comes the disappointment because nobody's getting all of them. You can't. So in this case, with the 6 never before seen Christmas kits, which I'm not going to elaborate on those in any specifics. So if you were avoiding spoilers, I'm not about to give them to you. But I mean, there's a spoiler like right in front of you. But that's besides the point. I'm not going to talk about any of the others, but it's impossible for anybody to get all 6 in their box. You get 2 of them, and that's the way it is. And there's always people that buy the box and get 2 of them, and they wanted 2 different ones. And it's always devastating because it costs a lot of money. And, you know, there are trades and destashes and all of that stuff, and that's good. I'm glad that we're able to do that. But sometimes people are asking an exorbitant amount for theirs, not everyone. And sometimes, you know, you really want to trade with someone, but they want to trade for something else, and you don't have that kit or whatever. And it ends up being very disappointing for some people, and I hate to see that play out. Like, it plays out every time. I watch it every time, but it makes me feel bad every time. I think I am the person that the mystery box is suited for. Like, I don't get super invested with it. I don't have, I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't collect any specific artists' work. There are some artists that I almost always buy, like Ivy Dollamore. I have a lot of those kits, but there are some that I don't have, and if there were to be an Ivy Dollamore in a mystery box and I didn't get that one, I guess I would be disappointed. And there are a few pieces of her art that I would be heavily disappointed if I were to miss out. But for the most part, I don't have to worry about, like, oh, I have every single Chuck Pinson piece. Well, that would be a real accomplishment, but that was just the first artist I thought of. Like, oh, I have every single Chuck Pinson, and so I have to buy this box in case there's a Pinson in there, and I'm going to have it, because otherwise my collection is incomplete. And I can see that being really tiresome for the people that have certain artists that they feel that way about. See, here's my glue dot in action, trying to pull that drill up. Okay. So I think that I'm a little bit less likely to be disappointed because of I don't have any criteria in that way. And also, like, I don't get, or I try not to get too invested in things that I see in the voting, which we did have a new voting yesterday. I try not to get too attached to any of those, because if, like, for one, they may not end up being made into kits at all. And for two, if they're in a mystery box, you know, I may not get them. And I don't want to feel upset. I want to feel happy about my box. And thus far, I have been able to do that. I'm sure there is a situation where I could be disappointed, but I've just been very lucky in that I've been happy with the mystery boxes that I've gotten in the past. But I always feel so bad to watch people's disappointment, like the people waiting for their box and that they've seen other boxes and they're like, oh my gosh, I love this one or that one, and then they get their box and it doesn't have that one. It makes me so sad. But I mean, if Diamond Art Club was more transparent about what's in the mystery boxes, they wouldn't be mystery boxes. So, like, what can anyone do? It's the fun of the surprise, and I guess it just is what it is. It's going to come with its ups and downs. And luckily, I think luckily, we are only like a week out, or maybe even less now, from the Black Friday, at least the announcement, right? Don't you think? It seems like every year we get an announcement like the weekend before Black Friday, if I remember right. And everybody can be excited about that, and that will be much more obvious about which kits are coming. They're going to preview them, and maybe we can all be excited together, or at least everyone can be disappointed about something different. That's a pretty negative outlook, but you know, there will always be people who are not pleased. You can't please everyone. So maybe the mystery box disappointment will die down and we can move on depending on what Diamond Art Club decides to do for Black Friday, I always just assume that they'll either do or outdo what they did the year before. And last year, I think they did 100 kits. I think they did 100 kits the past 2 years. And then a Cyber Monday drop as well. So I'm just assuming that they're going to do that this year, but I have no information about their intentions. So we'll just have to wait and see. My camera did shut off because it overheated, and now I am back after a couple of minutes letting it cool down. I don't have too much more to say, but because I had to stop in the middle and offload stuff off the memory card, I have no idea how long I've been talking, so it could be quite a long video or it could be quite a short video. I really have no idea. I know I do have to find another color though. This has been an adventure with searching through all of these containers. Oh no. Okay. I searched through all of the spots and I don't see this color. Oh, I missed it. I skipped over it. Another little one. Anyway, Black Friday. I do have some plans for content. I don't know how much of it will actually get done because isn't Thanksgiving week like other than Christmas, it's the busiest week of the year, really. So I don't know how much of it I'll actually get done. I would really love to do a roundup for Black Friday because I've done one for the past 2 years. So I would love to do one for this year. I think I'm just gonna have to call my videos where I discuss recent releases from Diamond Art Club. I'm just gonna have to call them roundups because I think that the word roundup has taken on a life of its own. Kind of like WIP and Chat. Like this video, you clicked on and you knew what to expect because when people do WIP and Chats on their channel, this is what they do. So I think now people, if you don't see the word roundup, then you're not sure what I'm doing in the video. So I think I'm just gonna have to call it roundup. And I mean, like, I thought of that title and it's been years now, but when I thought of it, I was like, this is kind of silly, but I'm going to use it anyway. And I never thought it would take off. And now I'm stuck with the word roundup. I guess I created this problem for myself, but I think, I keep trying to call it something else and do it differently. And the videos don't perform as well. And that's fine. Like, I know that like many of you watch, and I'm not trying to say that like I just do videos for the views or whatever. I do it because I like to. So it's fine. And I know that probably the people that are watching this are the same people that watched those videos because you are supportive and kind human beings. So I'm preaching to the choir here, but a lot of those videos didn't perform as well as when I used to do weekly roundups on Friday nights. And so I kind of feel pressured to go back to that. But then again, maybe people just don't watch because someone else is doing roundups and they get the information elsewhere and they don't need it from me. So there's many reasons why I'm a little conflicted about the roundups and what to do and what to call it and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like it's kind of redundant and unnecessary for me to do it if someone else is doing it, but that's not true. Like, just because someone else did a WIP and Chat doesn't mean that my WIP and Chat is unnecessary now. It's like I'm going to say a whole bunch of different things. I'm working on a different kit. It's very different. And so if I do my roundups, even if I do them on Friday nights or whatever, it's still going to be a whole different experience than watching someone else's. I guess it just depends on your reason for watching. Like, if you watch just to see the kits all in one place, then you don't need to watch multiple videos. But if you watch for someone's commentary, then it's going to be different every person you watch. So I don't know. I guess it's just me being insecure, I think. Because whenever I saw someone else start doing the roundups, I felt like, I don't know, it's kind of an honor, right? Like, you thought of something and it took off to the point that someone else wanted to to do it as well. Like, that means that it was successful. And so that's, I mean, I feel great about that. But then also I just kind of feel like, I feel like it's unnecessary for me to do one, or like that someone else probably does it better than me and so I shouldn't bother or something, like all of that negative self-talk that I shouldn't allow, but I do anyway. So I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about it eventually because I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me be insecure about the Roundup thing, but that's just who I am. And that's how I am. So I feel like an imposter doing my own video creation, if that makes any sense. It's so silly. It's so silly. But anyway, I think I'm going to do a Black Friday roundup. Wow, let's wrap back around to that. And I'm going to try to not over-explain it or be too, I don't know. I want to try to move past it and just do the video without any talk about my reasoning why I'm doing the video. But and that's me speaking to myself right now, and not like, you guys have been nothing but supportive, and you've always said to just do the videos that I want to do, and I'm going to try to listen. But also, I'm going to try to end this video not because I've made any progress whatsoever. I really have not, because whenever I do WIP and chats, I am all chat, no WIP, really. So I didn't accomplish much. I haven't even finished this color, but my son is going to his granny's today, and he is ready to hit the road. He is so ready to go, and he wants to get over there. They're gonna work on the four-wheeler or something that he loves to do. So he's really excited. So I have to head out, and I will see you guys soon with another video. I don't know if it'll be a roundup or not, but I will see you in another video soon. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!